It's Operation Babble with Myke Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
It's the beginning, folks.
Shut up. Can't take it.
Yeah.
I like my background. Thank you very much.
Dude, it looks like you I don't know. You look like the target. Like you look like somebody took your face and put it on like a dartboard because they're mad at you.
I am married, so there's always a target on my back. So.
Oh shit! Oh, married life already.
Hashtag married life. Hashtag goals. Hashtag what? Relationship goals and hashtag.
Is relationship
your hashtag
goal? Is marriage really the goal?
I don't know.
Because for the dude, the goal is to get in there, and then after that, you're just like, okay, what are the ways to keep that coming? Well, I was gonna say coming. To be fair, that pun was not intended, but I was very happy about it when I got there. You know, you'd almost say I had a happy end to that joke. Anyway, guys, how's it going?
Boo.
Oh
Boo.
Man, I was hoping I could distance myself from it.
All right, so yeah, welcome back, everyone who's listening, who's a returner. If you're not a returner, if you were a newbie, welcome to Operation Babble. I'm Myke, and nothing is going on in my life right now except for everything, but we're not going to talk about all that shit. So, Tivis, my man, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Yeah,
okay.
Checked out Superman the other day. That's cool. Superman and Lois.
Is it 2 episodes in now? Or
yeah,
3?
Yeah. This week was.
You could almost argue
renewed
3 because what was it? It was a 2-hour premiere.
I only got an hour.
Really? I thought they said it was a 2-hour.
They did, but I don't know what happened because I only got an hour on my.
They also said the last 3 episodes of WandaVision was going to be an hour each, but that's a lie.
I mean, do you think maybe they split up the 2-hour premiere when they post it?
Maybe. It's a good possibility.
I could see him doing that.
Unless they were showing an episode of Supergirl that he premiered in first as
Let's be fair.
lead in.
Maybe it was an hour's worth of commercials.
It
is the CW after all.
Yeah. All right. Well,
what's
John,
your initial reaction? Oh, you asked him. I'm curious.
Well, we'll
I'm curious.
talk about that when we get into it.
All right,
Shit.
fuck, damn.
We don't have much today. John, how are you doing?
What?
How are you doing?
I'm here.
Me too.
I'll keep it ambiguous.
Where are you exactly? What's your address again? What phone number? Let's get that information out there.
Yeah, give us that PO box.
1313 Evergreen Terrace. There you go.
There you go. All right. So
Mockingbird Lane.
I was gonna say don't.
You don't know Evergreen Terrace? Okay, never mind.
Yeah. I got you. So I before we dive back into your Superman stuff, because I'm kind of curious of what you think of it and everything. I actually woke up this morning. I actually
that's
woke up.
That's good start.
Yeah.
Good start.
Very
buddy.
good start.
It's always something you want.
To more freaking Ray Fisher news, dude. Fucking hell. This guy.
Is that that person from Star Wars or whatever? The chick?
Please tell me it's the news. I think it is.
It's the guy who's literally only been in one movie, really, and it's the same movie that's coming out twice now. For Cyborg, I should say.
That's kind of funny. Playing the exact same character in essentially the same movie, and he's going to get probably 2 IMDb credits for it. That's fucking hysterical.
He does. He does. It's on IMDb twice as Justice League, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League. I looked it up this morning. I was like,
so stupid.
And he's credited for Batman v Superman because he's in there for 10 seconds. But other than those, nothing really. For Ray Fisher, guys, if you don't know who we're talking about, is Cyborg from Justice League. On his things, he has 1 episode of the Astronaut Wives Club. And then he has got Batman v Superman, Justice League. And then he's in 8 episodes of True Detectives. I don't know what the fuck that is. And then he's in Zack Snyder's Justice League that's coming out.
You don't know what True Detective is?
No, I never watched that. What is it?
It's
seasonal anthology series.
Yeah, they're anthology.
Ooh, I might actually like that because I don't have to get invested.
I know people really liked the first season, but didn't care for the second, and that's as much as I know.
I feel like most people only like the first season for two big reasons. And they're both on Alexandra Daddario. So
Vince Vaughn's in it, Colin Farrell, Rachel McAdams,
and Woody Harrelson,
Matthew McConaughey, Mahershala Ali, Blade, our future Blade.
Oh shit!
If that movie gets made, Woody Harrelson, Stephen Dorff. Jeez, so Blade and
villain of Blade
Frost is in there. Awesome. But no, this guy he tweeted out another thing. Everyone knows he's been tweeting out his ass against Warner Brothers, mainly Joss Whedon and Jeff Johns. That's the right guy, right? And
sure. A couple more people.
A couple others,
Don't have them in front of me.
Toby Emmerich, Jeff Johns, and John Berg are the three that he attacked in this one.
Can you say attacked?
Went after accusatorium post, I guess he made.
Slander.
I don't know. I've been whatever with all of his other stuff. I didn't really care. I get it. People get treated like shit in the industry all the time. I've been on movie sets. I know. I've seen it. I've had the shit treated to me too. Now, granted, I'm not going to say I'm they berated me and made me feel like a bad human. My family did that already, so they didn't have to. So
I get yelled at, so you don't have to.
Right? There we go.
Nostalgia. Nobody? All right. Fucking hell. Am I the only person who goes on YouTube anymore?
He's been doing this for about a year now, ever since the Zack Snyder Justice League was announced, is when he started all this. So, of course, people are automatically assuming he's doing it just to hype that movie up. Because the more people that watch that movie, the more inclined Warner Brothers might be to do something with it. I still don't think they're going to do anything with him in the future.
No, they removed him from Flash because of all this.
Yeah.
I will say two things to that point. One, absolutely, it's because of the fact that there's clout now, so you might as well do it while you have a spotlight to use. I understand that. It's always one of those things where I just kind of go, it's too little, too late. Because it makes you wonder why. What is the purpose of it? There's well, maybe he didn't feel like there was any point to doing it because the movie had already been made or whatever. And it's just
because he had nothing else going on.
And it's don't get me wrong. I don't want to fucking victim blame or anything. I'm about to, but I'm about to. So it's one of those things where it's again man, wouldn't it have been easier to do it when you had all the information and you had people who were probably pissed off at the same time and everybody could have came together at once and you could have almost held the movie hostage. You know what I mean? The movie doesn't get done unless these problems are addressed
or bring it up. Like you said, before the movie came out, then they'd be more inclined to not even put the Justice League out there. In the first place, they would have waited.
Sure. He was the first one to show displeasure in Joss's directing.
Yeah, and now everybody else wants to jump on it. 2 decades?
What's the word I'm looking for? Style. And then he jumped on the other people after the fact.
Yeah,
I think more so after he got removed.
Yeah, now it's all those people because Joss has already been kind of playing. He's already been. Joss had a product. He was working with Warner Brothers. They shot the whole first season of it. And then he stepped away from it. And this was one of his baby projects too that he had. Mm-hmm. So he quote unquote stepped away from it. But, I'm assuming that they kicked him out or paid him off to walk away nicely because of all this. So, Joss has already gotten a lot of crap for it. He's probably not going to be hired anytime soon, at least with his name. Maybe as a ghostwriter or some shit like that.
I'd make the argument, who fucking cares? Yeah. One, that dude's going to do fine in residuals. Two, he might be a piece of shit, but he's talented as fuck. So, if look at things like Dr. Horrible. He doesn't need a fucking huge studio to back him.
All I have to say is shit. What's his name? I was just talking about him yesterday.
Come on.
Fucking hell.
Got any clues for us?
He was married to
this isn't gonna help me.
Sharon Tate.
I'm glad he derailed what I was saying to fucking mumble and stumble.
Yeah,
on
just
himself.
go on. It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
Like I was saying, Joss has been writing since Roseanne. You know, he helped pen the first Toy Story. Hello, he's done. He worked on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He did a lot with. He's pretty much the soul, not soul, but like the big heart and soul, essentially, of Buffy and Angel. And this is some of the most prolific stuff that you've seen in sci-fi and just television in general. And then the guy's always being picked up to come in and either fix somebody's problems or put together something that's like monumentous and unheard of. Like that first Avengers movie, say what you will with it, because there are some technical things that people probably don't like about it, myself included. But what a thing to do. Nobody'd seen something like that before, and the guy nailed it. And is he probably a prick to people? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. After all these years, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So does he deserve to get his comeuppance? Sure. Whatever people deem, as long as it fits the crime, I'm cool with it. But again, this idea that he can't just go off, write something and produce something himself. Yeah. People would be like, well, where is he going to distribute it? The fucking guy could put it on Rumble.
Here's what I was telling people yesterday and before, now that the name popped back in my head. Roman Polanski still makes movies, guys. And he was
in Rush Hour 3.
And he was found guilty of his crimes, and he still won Oscars or was nominated.
He's still technically wanted by the United States of America. Yeah. He had to leave. So he's
wanted by the US, but the Oscars still nominated him like just a year or two ago, I think it was. So
well, dude, people like Whoopi Goldberg supported him.
Yeah.
Said he was fun. Literally, I believe, I'm not going to say quote for word, but it was something akin to his talent and artistry exceeds the quote unquote accusations and or what he did. And I go, you're a fuck piece of shit. you suck.
And I'm trying to pull up the exact charges on him too, but that'd take forever.
I don't think we really need to do it. We just know that he fucking sodomized a underage girl after
but he's been wanted for 33 years. Let's just say that.
So and then he was in Rush Hour 3.
Yeah.
Which I think he should go to jail for a second time for. So there you go.
For doing a bad
movie? For being
movie?
in fucking Rush Hour 3. It was a fucking terrible film.
All right. Well,
I do worry about Joss's brother though.
Oh,
is he gonna get? Yeah, because he shares the Whedon name.
Who would care? No, I don't think it works that way.
The
Not
Bushes
anymore.
Do just fine, so I'm sure the Whedons will do fine.
Damn. Damn.
There's like 8 of them.
That was good. You got Bush Senior and you got Shrub. No. All right.
No.
All right.
But anyways,
I was trying to remember if that's a real name. There's too many of them.
Well, you had
Shrub Bush. Here's my son Shrub. I gotta say,
I wouldn't put it past him.
There's a dude with the oh my god, I can't believe it. I was listening to an EFAP yesterday, and there was like I think there was like a musical guy or a writer on I want to say it was on Wonder Woman 84. There's a credit. There's a dude named, his surname is Suckle. Now, I understand that that's not necessarily funny in itself, but there are a bunch of names I could consider that you shouldn't call somebody when you have the surname Suckle. I'm gonna go with one should be, don't name them Dick.
Parents can be cruel.
They named their kid Richard Suckle. And for people who don't know, Dick is a short term for Richard. I would hate my family for a very long time. And that is one of those things where it's like, you can legally change your name, my guy. Take advantage. Take advantage.
Yeah, but if
maybe
excuse
he's
me,
embraced
Mr.
the joke.
Suckle.
You think about it though, like that name you're not going to forget. You clearly didn't forget it, so
name him Titus, and we can name him Tit for short.
I know there's probably some more stuff you want to get onto, Mike, but that's actually something fun that my wife and I do after we watch a movie. Is we go through and look at see how many weird names we see.
Tit suckle?
No. In the credits of movies,
I was like,
and
who's
stuff.
doing the suckling? Sorry,
but
man.
we sit there and look at it. It's like, oh wow, that's a strange one.
Oh yeah, dude. Hannah and I absolutely do that, especially when we go to the movie theaters. We like Mr. Science Theater 3000. We have to, we have to make fun of the names because you see some real fucked up shit in the credits. It's like there are times when I'm like, there are people who actually put their like nickname on set, like in quotations in the middle. Sometimes is less insane than actual surnames. It's pretty damn funny.
I really wish I would have come up with a surname instead of using my real name for credits and shows and stuff. That would have been a smart thing to do, but I didn't.
So it was funny that you bring up the Ray Fisher thing, because I'm curious, because we just had, and this could be a bit of a workaround here, because with the Ray Fisher shit, because it's like, we'll see where this goes, because Momoa and all them have come up, and it's like, wow, well, I don't really care because you're all trying to keep Amber Heard around, so you're all pieces of shit in my book. I'm kind of curious, like, think about all this discourse between everybody. Imagine if they would try to have premiered this cut. Like, I think this is the only way that this was going to happen, is that, like, movie theaters got shut down and all that shit. Because now there's no need to like premiere this movie at a theater. So you're not going to be doing red carpet events. You're probably not going to go around and do a ton of interviews. Well, because you already did them for the first run.
All right. Well, let me finish and then we'll dive into that, because I do have stuff for that. But like basically, so with the new stuff that Ray Fisher did, he finally, after almost a year of doing this, he finally pulled out the race card. Oh. And basically called him out for being racist towards black people and stuff like that. And then he also said, and it's funny that he said this, because Paul Bettany said this recently of Joss Whedon wanted Vision to have a penis. Well, apparently
I knew it.
Apparently, in this tweet, he says that they wanted to see Cyborg's penis.
Nice. Talk about booyah.
So yeah. I don't know how much of this I can believe, like that. And then he said that they wanted the character to kind of be like Quasimodo, which makes sense if you've ever read Cyborg's comics,
Yeah.
I don't know if he took it in the way of like Quasimodo from the cartoon, who's kind of goofy and shit like that. Or like Quasimodo, who's like...
Apparently somebody hasn't seen Hunchback of Notre Dame lately.
No,
that movie's pretty fucking intense. That movie is intense, my dude. Frollo might be one of the like fucking spookiest bad guys in Disney animation.
But
history.
Everyone seems to... Well, that's what everyone was seeming to take from that in this comment thread and shit, is that he was trying... or they were trying to make him just be the stereotypical stupid black character or whatever in the film, because they said Quasimodo. I'm like, did anyone ever read the Quasimodo story?
Yeah,
like,
he's actually the fucking hero, even because of his looks. I gotta say,
well, he also hides. That's the thing, is like Quasimodo is doesn't like his appearance, so he's always hiding in the shadows, shit like that, which is what Cyborg did in the comics.
I just got to say, fuck Ray Fisher for all of those comments, because I got to go. Here's like three things. One, if he goes, we wanted Cyborg to have a penis. How is that fucking relevant to this conversation in any way, shape, or form?
Well, it's because Paul Bettany just brought it up with Joss Whedon recently.
Well, no, what I'm talking about is
funny.
Why did Ray Fisher bring it up?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Why would you bring that up? That's fucking pointless to your little accusation stuff. You're just trying to figure out ways to dunk on Whedon for no reason.
No, this wasn't towards Whedon. None of this stuff was accusatory towards Whedon. This was all towards the execs this time. Supposedly.
Okay, fine. Either way, again, I don't care. Like, it doesn't work because we already had Manhattan with the dongle floating around, and that was Zach's choice. You know what I mean? Like, that was stuff that he put in. Why would you be surprised if Zach tried to do it again, or if the execs wanted to push it or something like that?
But Cyborg, does Cyborg even have a penis?
I don't know. And I don't care. I don't want to have that
more of a robot thing.
But we shouldn't have that conversation anyway. Everybody knows we shouldn't even be doing it. And then on top of that, it's like, we want to have Vision have one. I'm like, I don't think we need that either. But you have to remember, he, like, in the comics, if you want to do the whole, like, he fathers children with Wanda, maybe having the discussion isn't that bad of an idea. Because he is, like, essentially built in a person's, likeness. So I get that. Cyborg is trying to rebuild a human just so he'll live. You know what?
Did you see everything that was said about the Vision penis thing?
Yeah,
it was hilarious. They basically, Joss was adamant that he wanted a penis on him, and they're like, dude, it's not going to work. And they did storyboard with it. He took one look at it, and was like, I don't want a penis anymore.
Which it doesn't make sense anyways. Why would you even need a penis on Vision? You're not going to see it. Whether they just want to see a little bulge. I mean,
well, you would see it like the first time, and then he'd probably put clothes on and realize,
he has clothes on the whole time. He's built with freaking clothes on, basically.
Well, not really. He puts his green suit on after. Remember, he's just all red and like has like the green lines. Kind of his whole body looks like his head when he comes out of the thingy.
Marvel isn't gonna, or Disney Marvel wasn't gonna show a Vision penis anyways. So it doesn't matter.
See, you keep. That's not the conversation we're having. Like the
conversation is that movie for
if he
the
wanted
movie he was making at that time.
Could have. It'd have been dumb, but you could have.
They would have cut it too.
Well, ew! Don't cut
circumcision.
The penis. Well, it depends on your religion. Like Ray Fisher's just kind of an idiot. I kind of just don't care. And the whole thing is like, you want a way to tackle something. And I think this is probably the hard part because that he came in as kind of an unknown. And I'd even argue that's probably why a lot of these people got casted, like Gal Gadot. Like, I mean, who the fuck was she before she was Wonder Woman?
She was in Fast and Furious.
I was going to say person in cars.
Yeah, it's like a side character. She was
a model. Yeah.
It's like, we're not really hiring her for her innate acting abilities.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit easier to get people to toe the line and to do what you want when their career is kind of more like solely based on this thing. Because I think the way you want to handle it, look at how Oscar Isaac and John Boyega dealt with their shit. John Boyega getting fucking shrunk on the poster, which I guarantee you Disney is lamenting that fucking move.
Yeah.
They'll rue that for a while. John Boyega goes around and just takes little stabs at him. He's like, fuck him. He's like, I don't care. I'm done. I'm done with these fucking movies. I don't care. He's moving on to the next project. Ray Fisher can't move on to nothing because there's nothing for him to move on to because he sucks. I'm like,
and it's funny too because people were like, well, Snyder's gonna. That's Snyder's boy basically now. Snyder's gonna hold on to him.
He keeps acting like he's Snyder's best friend.
I'm like, really? Because he's not even in Snyder's zombie film that he was shooting this whole time. I'm like, where do you see this? Like Snyder's like his best buddy connection. Like even when Snyder was doing like the watch through of the Justice League or not Justice League, Batman v Superman or Man of Steel, whatever it was, online with everybody. He didn't have Ray Fisher show up. He had Henry Cavill show up. Like,
yeah,
he didn't have Ben Affleck. Henry Cavill is his boy. Like, if anything,
yeah. I think it's silly. I think it's just clout chasing, and I think he's trying to jump on, regardless of whether or not it happened.
Right.
I'll say that right there. Well, I don't know what happened.
What Myke said, shit happens. People get mistreated. Something probably happened.
I'm not cool with that rhetoric either. I don't like this idea like, oh, well, it's that idea of like
I'm not
the term
saying
of like,
that because it happens, we should just let it go.
Shit like that.
No.
No. I'm saying he's blowing it out of proportion.
More people should speak up guys, if they're going to speak up.
We don't know what blowing out of proportion means. There is a difference between like somebody, like you make a mistake on set and somebody yells at you for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Versus like, they threw fucking coffee on me or they like yelled at me just because I didn't do anything just because they were having a bad day.
Or like
that kind of shit.
Was it Charisma Carpenter who was saying like, she was being made fun of all the time and shit like that. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's emotional. But like, emotionally
with
abusing
Ray
somebody
Fisher, he has not once said really what the fuck they did to him. That's
he
the
just
thing.
says big vague things that you're like,
and
okay.
He refused to participate in the investigation too.
Yeah. So I'm like, what did they actually do? At least Charisma Carpenter like stated fact, like not facts, but like specific things that happened to her. Other people that have come out with other events and other movies have said specific things. This guy's just like, teetering on the edge of this happened. Or maybe it didn't happen.
And there are other actors like corroborating her stories.
Yeah.
You look at like the most you're getting for Ray Fisher is like Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot going like, yeah, Josh was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
That's all you're getting.
Yeah.
That's really that's probably the top tier. And then you got people like Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck not saying shit.
Or any of the Avengers.
That's because they have careers.
Yeah. It's like, just fucking move on. Like, move on, dude. I'm sorry this sucks.
I'm sure Ben Affleck has worked with crappy people in his career.
Well, but here's my thing is like now, thanks to this, I go, here's two things. One, he should have just moved on and realized, okay, if I see these red flags on the next set, I'm calling them out. I'm recording shit. I'm bringing receipts.
He's lucky DC doesn't just like scrap the whole Snyder cut, dude.
No, that's not going to happen.
I don't think they're going to do that for one person.
Yeah, especially a fucking nobody. And then I also got to say, he thinks this might be helping him. It's not. Nobody's going to want to work with him now. Nobody.
Yeah.
It's like, man, if this guy thinks he's got all this like clout to go after a bunch of people with barely any evidence, mostly hearsay, and allegedly's all over the place. Imagine what this guy does when he becomes the star of the show.
Yeah. He's really hoping that this like boosts his career to get some job. That's what it feels like. Even though
I think he wants to play the victim, so somebody goes, "Oh, man. I think he's looking for a Gina Carano." Like that's what I think he's looking for. Like how Gina Carano got fired, and like half the internet, if not more, have all rallied behind her. And now look at her; she's going off doing stuff with the Daily Wire and gonna put out some new movie.
Yeah, she's doing
even
stuff
Bill
that
Burr
she dreamed about doing.
Yeah, you have somebody, and it's funny too because people like Bill Burr, and everybody's been like talking shit about Pedro Pascal for so long, and I do find it funny that two of the most likable people in the show end up being the two likable people on set, and they're like. But it's like, it just shows so much. Like the person I really want to get it from is Carl Weathers. I'm curious what Apollo's got to say about all this shit. That guy knows better. He's like, I'm not saying shit. He's like, Michael B. Jordan stole my legacy. I have things to do. Oh God, don't be in the next Predator movie, Carl Weathers, please. I know you're dead, but they'll figure out a way. They'll figure out a way.
No,
but yeah, I think he torpedoed himself.
It was just, I was just waiting until he was going to pull the race card though. And as soon as he did that, I'm like, you just lost credibility with a lot of people, dude.
Well, my whole thing is if he was actually racist to you, I'm fine with you quote unquote pulling the card. But if you're just doing it because you're like, well, he probably did it because
this far in the game, like, come on. It's been a year, bro. Like, why didn't you just lay it all out on the table?
Well,
I believe when he first talked about them being, bad to him because of his race, it was mostly directed at Jeff Johns and John, whatever his name is, and Joss and Toby weren't in that conversation.
I just love it though, because it's like, even if it is Jeff, like if it's Joss, it's like, okay, yeah, go talk to Sam Jackson. If it's Jeff Johns, okay, let's go talk to Diggle and let's talk to, what's his face, Michael J. White. Who else they fucking got in there?
Flash's wife.
The whole cast of Black Lightning.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He says the truth will continue to reveal itself, and as it does, because he's going to take 5 more years to do it, there will be attempts to shift blame completely onto Kevin. I don't know that last name.
Sorbo.
Suhujihara. And Joss Whedon, but make no mistake, Jeff Johns worked intimately with Joss to overhaul the entire Justice League script, and while Jeff was not credited as co-writer of the film, he was certainly an enforcer of the race-based discrimination that occurred during his conversations with Toby and John. Zack Snyder's Justice League stands as proof of an opposition to that discrimination. So basically he's saying Joss Whedon's Justice League is anti-discrimination. That's his pitch for that film.
But
now.
Jeff Johns was attached to that too. He's attached to every fucking DC thing.
It's fucking embarrassing, dude.
He feels that if he keeps the hype up for the Snyder Cut, that it will make Warner Brothers need to keep keep Snyder on board, which he thinks will then keep him on board, which I don't see that happening. Once you badmouth all your execs and shit like that, I feel like it's gonna do some damage to you. So I don't know. That's just my thing. I found I was reading a bunch of comments in some of my blurred groups about this stuff this morning, and like these guys are all like, oh, now he pulls the race card, and that's why I'm saying, because I read it from those guys, I was like, yeah. That's kind of fucked up. And then he says, then he quoted Martin Luther King's wife.
Get fucked.
It says, it doesn't matter how strong your opinions are, if you don't use your power for positive change, you are indeed part of the problem.
And I think the only credible thing he said, like that we can take for sure, is I think last week or a couple weeks ago now, he said there's a reason they haven't sued me for defamation.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason why is because nobody's listening to him, probably.
Yeah, there's only one time where Warner Brothers finally said something to him once, when he said some shit a couple days ago.
This week or within the last 7 days at least.
Yeah. And that I don't even remember what he was accusing them of then either. Because everything he says is so forgettable because it's so like useless.
It's all hearsay. It's just all hearsay. Like,
and when it's only coming from one person on the set, it's kind of hard to, the other people are like, yeah, we're with him, but it's like, okay, well, give us some information too, because this guy's going to drag it out for 5 years till he gets another job with the Hallmark Channel, because that's all he's going to be working on.
Damn.
He's got the pretty face for Hallmark work. It's okay.
Does he, though?
You'll be fine, Ray Fisher. Hallmark will call you any day. All right.
To be fair,
let's
other
move
than
on.
Dean Cain's like the most ethnic you're going to get on the Hallmark Channel.
No, because what's her face is doing those Christmas movies.
What?
The Christmas twins or triplets or whatever.
That's Netflix, my dude.
Is it Netflix? Oh, they are Hallmark
fucking idiot.
movies.
And her name is Vanessa Hudgens. How dare you? She is a treasure.
They are like Hallmark movies, so we will say they're Hallmark movies.
High School Musical 1 and 2 are fantastic.
I'm sure Pureflix would also pick Ray Fisher up too if he could just, keep the cussing down. It'd be good.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like it's a streaming service / production company that does a lot of Kevin Sorbo stuff, actually.
Very Christian.
Yep.
That Kevin Sorbo. Yep. Him
All
and his
right.
Wizife.
So let's move on to anything else.
Hey, you're the one who wanted to talk about it.
It was just annoying me when I wake up to like yesterday when you sent me some other shit. So
it's almost daily. When I was doing, those of you who haven't checked out the Patreon yet, I've been doing a little pop culture news thing on there. There's only 2 episodes so far, but it's like every other day. It's Zack Snyder, Ray Fisher. It alternates between the two every other day.
Or WandaVision.
I've been avoiding the WandaVision. One more episode.
I guess to stick with DC for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Tivis, I was trying to convince these two to watch Superman and Lois, because then I was going to watch it and we would talk about it. Mm-hmm. But Michael kind of poo-pooed on that, so I was like, I'm not going to try and squeeze in 2 hours
poo-poo on it.
No. But Tivis, since you watched it.
No, I did not poop on it.
He poo-pooed on it.
All I said was,
I'm not fucking watching that.
LOL.
He's like, I'm not fucking watching that.
I'm trying to find it.
I believe his exact text was no,
said,
LOL.
I won't. LOL.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, Tivis, thank you.
Yeah, that's not fucking passive aggressive or anything. But I'm gonna assume I know your answer, Tivis, but I would just like to know initial response to it. Like it, love it, kind of good.
If you say
worried.
love it, John's not gonna watch it.
I did like it. It's a different. If it, the CW shows, you've watched enough, you know that they have the same tone kind of thing. This one, it felt different.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure where it's going to land when it's done. But as for premieres, I think because of the different that it is compared to the other shows, I would put it as like number 3 underneath Arrow and Flash on my premieres list. Just
to have a time capsule, because I'm curious, because I definitely want to circle back when we've all watched it. Mm-hmm. Here were my reasons for wanting the show in the first place. So I remember watching a couple episodes of Supergirl where Tyler popped in, the actor for Superman.
I think it was all the crossovers that you'd seen.
Yeah. I instantly liked him. I just immediately liked him. I was like, he's a decent enough Superman, but he definitely gives me Clark vibes. Like, he's not overtly handsome like a Henry Cavill, but he gives off a presence while still kind of looking like, humdrum middle America, under the radar kind of guy. Mm-hmm. I found him charming. And then they brought him Bitsy Tulloch to be Lois. To be fair, feels a little old. Feels bad, man. But I really liked her on Grimm. I think she does like relationship-y stuff, and she's kind of a headstrong actress. So I think she could do pretty well as Lois. So I immediately was just like, fuck Supergirl. Give me a Superman show, because I'm a misogynist and I only think with my penis. And so I was hoping for it. When it got announced, I was kind of pumped. And then I saw the trailer and I go, oh no, more Zack Snyder-y looking dreary shit. I'm like, I don't know if I'm down for this, especially if like you're going to try and tackle the somber, muted colors and somberness, but with a bunch of CW writing hacks, like Batwoman. Mm. Granted, they're not all that shit, but they're all getting relatively close. But then I saw the scene, and most people know what I'm talking about, that went all over the internet. The scene where they essentially panel for panel, like take the cover from the DC Action Comics, the original Action Comics, where he like saves the green Volkswagen or whatever. And then he walks up to the kid and it's like, gives him back the hat and says, hey, nice costume. And he says, thanks, my mom made it for me, and then flies off. I was like, that's like what we've been missing for decades of Superman content, is like that is back to Lois and Clark, back to the animated series, back to all the good, wholesome shit. And, it's almost like what like Zachary Levi was doing as Shazam. Like, I wanted like lighthearted fun, and I haven't been getting it. I saw that scene and I go, fuck, I think they got me. And I'm worried I'm going to watch the show and be horribly, I feel like I'm going to get tricked, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How much of my thoughts do you want on this? Or are you good with what I said?
You can go a little more in depth. I'm not even like entirely worried about that picture is outdated, by the way, Michael. They actually edited Batwoman out.
I was gonna bring that up, fucker.
Well, you're an idiot. Don't reveal something.
It is very much emotionally driven pilot. Yeah, so it's different. I don't know if you're gonna get what you want in this first episode, but I can't say for sure it doesn't come later on, because I haven't seen episode 2 yet.
And my strongest worry, and this came from the trailer too, is I'm worried about Bill and Ted taking up way too much screen time. Their two sons.
I really liked the dynamic they set up with those two, but
I just feel like they should have been a different show. I just didn't want them in this show. I'm afraid that they're going to take from, I think it's the same problem I bitched about with Flash. They added too many characters, and now it's not a Flash show anymore. It's Flash doing a thing and everybody else squabbling like bitches for an hour. Like, it's really frustrating. And I think it's a cop-out for the editing and the writing. It's like, oh, we got all these characters. Oh, it'll be easier to shoot because we'll just put 2 people in this hallway and shoot. We'll take a second team and shoot these 2 people in this hallway. And then tomorrow we'll do all the action stuff. Like, that's what it feels like. That's the formula it feels like these days.
That's generally how they do it anyways.
Well, I'm making the joke is like, instead of just doing that with multiple characters in a room, doing long takes and acting, they break them up into like 3 or 4 2-people scenes.
Yeah.
And just back and forth edit cut. It's really fucking lazy.
That's why it was nice with the first few seasons of like Arrow when it was just him fighting.
Yeah.
So
I did have one complaint, but I can't talk about it until you guys watch it. So I'll say that when we get there.
So you like it, but you're not like overtly enthusiastic about it.
I'm very curious about what it's going to be like.
Gotcha. Okay.
Cool.
I don't usually say a show's shit until about episode 3 or 4. I think that's been about that's
a good rule of thumb.
I'm about 3 or 4 usually.
If you don't like a show 3 or 4 episodes in, you should probably just stop.
Either or just like sit back and wait for people you actually trust to finish it out and see if it's right. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm doing with WandaVision. I'm waiting for the finale to see what everybody says. If it ends up being good, which I haven't heard good things.
Which the finale drops episode. The same day this drops. So
yep, you should be able to finish it today.
Everybody comment and spoil it for John. No,
but got it. I mean, go. I'm essentially caught up to all the spoilers. I'm more about the execution while I'm watching it because I'm not going to think about what's happening. I'm like, oh, it's more like I know what's going to happen. Do they earn it?
Right.
Like, did they earn it? Did it make sense? Is this like,
or
did they just pull it out of their ass like a fucking sword out of the sorting hat when you needed it in like the 6th movie? Fuck you, J.K. Rowling. Sorry.
I'm very curious to see how the last episode goes because at the moment I'm kind of like I've rewatched some of the episodes and I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't hold up as much as when you first watch it, you know?
Well, and also it's hard because I don't trust most of the people on the internet when it comes to
MCU
understanding quality because just like anything Disney in general, like Mandalorian's fucking trash, dude. And I'm so sick of people. I still haven't even
watched the second season. Did you watch the full second season or no?
Mostly just through the EFAP shorts. I
kind of want to watch it for the Bill Burr scenes because everything I saw Bill Burr in for like advertising looked really cool.
Oh no, his scene's great, but then they completely go back on that story wise and character wise in that same episode. It's fucking stupid.
That's stupid.
It's really dumb.
All right, so
I think it's good.
What the fuck?
I know.
What the fuck?
Everybody thinks Mandalorian's good, sadly. And they're wrong. I'm going to tell you, you can like it, but don't tell me it's good because it's not good.
All right, well, let's dive into this dumb picture behind me. CW did a Crisis flashback. There we go.
Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover.
They did a flashback advertising thing, and this is the original image. If you're watching on screen, it has all of them. It has Superman, Black Lightning, Flash, Supergirl, White Canary. Is that what we call her now?
Yeah.
You could
don't really use her name, but
you could always put the picture up in post.
Yeah, I know. I will. But for the audio listeners, and Batwoman and Martian Manhunter. Well, in the edited version, they cut out Batwoman and pushed over Martian Manhunter.
You should look how fuzzy, like if you guys get a chance to look online, look at this photo. I had to like flip back and forth just to see because I do some photoshopping and I'm pretty sure most of the world does at this point. They know a little bit.
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter is fuzzy as fuck. It was like they accidentally used the blur tool on him. It's fucking dumb. And like, oh man.
Now, was this just an image? Because I didn't see the promo or anything, but was this just an image that popped up or was it actual video?
I've only seen a still, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did it in video form too, because I believe this will be a second instance of them doing that. If I remember correctly.
It makes no sense. It does not make sense.
Well, it's because they're stupid and didn't realize that, we decided to do all this stuff and then fucking Batwoman bailed out. But it's you made her a Paragon when she hasn't only had one season.
It makes no sense, though, to cut her out because the story, at least from the first episode, because I stopped watching the CW after the first episode of Batwoman season 2.
How dare you? It's fucking glorious.
So
the show's glorious.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with it. And do you want a little...
Yeah,
do you mind a little spoiler?
There's no such thing as spoilers in this show, dude.
Kate is still alive. They're clearly going to reintroduce her. And after this, I kind of feel like they are just going to simply recast her.
Well,
I don't think so. Not if they're gonna edit her out of the like fucking Justice League shit.
Well, I think something more went down when Ruby left. Like, I feel like there might not have been such a clean exit as we were led to believe.
They still have the legal right to use her image that she already was paid for.
I mean, they
though.
do, but if they don't want to,
yeah. I wonder if this was just like a test. This little cut here was just a test to see, like, oh, can we digitally
will people notice
a new actress? It'll cost the CW a fortune, but yeah, I don't see them doing that. I think this was just them trying to be petty and dumb and not knowing what the hell they're doing. Because they've recast some other people too. Never a main character. But they've recast other characters with different actors and shit like that. So, I mean, freaking Sarah Lance was a different actress when the character was first introduced.
Well, granted, that was in a flashback in the very first episode.
Still.
No, that is so not on the same level, dude. Like, come on.
No,
I can't give you that.
I mean, Marvel's going and replacing Ant-Man's daughter.
I mean,
yeah, are they?
How do you mean? Like the teen that was in Endgame?
Yeah, they're replacing the teen.
Oh,
from Endgame. That's
even gonna notice.
That's the only thing that she got to be, and she's like, well, because they cast. I forget who they cast. I think it's the girl from Freaky, that Vince Vaughn flick that is going to be playing her moving forward. I believe that's who it is. Anyways, don't quote me on that.
Again, I mean, it's just so not on the same level. You went from a child actor who they fucked up their timeline and overaged her for Endgame, and she was in it
supposed to be 5 years,
for 15 seconds. She was in it to give him a hug. That was it, and then and now she's another actress. That's so different.
Doesn't matter, man. Okay.
Well, then why'd you bring it up?
Fine. Roseanne recast the daughter.
Now see that
and then
is much more significant. Or Fresh Prince when they changed
the mom,
the
Aunt Viv. But Roseanne recast the daughter because the other one went off to college or some shit, and then they re-implanted her back into the show afterwards.
Then to make it even better, they did an episode where they brought back Sarah Chalk, who replaced the original one, and they had a scene together, and they were like, "God, you look familiar."
Yeah,
loved it.
Well, then they brought them. Then they had both of them in the Connors stuff that they're doing now. I don't know if it's over or not, but
because I would call something a little more egregious, like the fact that they replaced the sister, like like in that 70s show, right? They had to replace Eric's sister because
she died.
Lisa Robin Kelly died, the original sister.
Well, no, she didn't die then, did she? I thought she died later on. I think she left because of drugs.
Well, I think she left because of drugs, but it was like, I think
because she didn't die until later on.
Maybe a year after. Okay, maybe I'm a little wrong on my timeline on that, but yeah, they replaced her.
But they did replace her, yeah.
But what's more egregious though? You have that because you wanted to kind of try and keep the character around, obviously without losing it. They fucking just straight up forgot that they gave Donna a sister.
Yeah.
Donna had a sister in the first couple episodes. They reference her. And then they just never talk about her again. And she was never casted or shown on screen or any of that.
Well, Kelso also had 400 brothers and we only saw one.
Yeah. Right?
It's crazy. And then you never see his brothers when he has a kid finally either. So it's crappy uncles. Okay, got it.
Right? It's fucking bunch of deadbeat uncles. Fuck pricks.
Oh.
I don't know. I think it's a lot of effort for no reason. And to be fair, I still maintain making her a paragon in the first place and even part of the Justice League is fucking dumb. It was so dumb. You should have had the 4 legacy characters take it, start the league, and then slowly bring in the other ones when they earned it.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, it's also stupid to start it without Arrow.
John.
Why would you introduce them when Arrow's being kicked out at the same time?
Bro.
It was silly.
The whole thing with Batwoman is stupid because when we introduce her, she's already Batwoman in the first, like, a year before Crisis.
Fucking insane.
And then her show starts and she's not Batwoman. They should have just started it as her Batwoman, because when she meets them in Crisis, she's like, I remember last year. The fuck is your timeline at, bro? Like, what the fuck?
It's fucking silly.
It made no sense.
Well, they just wanted this Batwoman thing to work so badly. They just force fed it and it just fucked everything up.
And the people can't see that. They just literally force fed it into there. It's like, how blind are you? Like, come on.
Well, it's got DC on it. Michael, shut up. They can't do anything wrong. Batwoman was in the comics, I guess.
Batwoman was cool in the first crossover she appeared in, and then they made her into a little bitch.
See, it sucks because now I want to go back and watch that crossover to see if I was just fooling myself in the first place. It's
shot a ton better. The fight that she does, of course, the lighting's better, choreography's better, everything is 100% better than the show. Not saying much because the show is like 0%.
I just can't get over it, man. I gotta tell people, if you're just curious and you want to laugh, watch the EFAP minis of Batwoman, dude. They cover it and it's fucking hilarious, dude, because it like keeps me up with the goings on of the show while not having to watch the entire show. And I watch them and Jay Longbone. They both kill me. They're so damn funny.
I do think season 2 is much better than season 1.
I don't even know. It's just a whole different type of show now, because like all the same elements are there. It's just, I mean, we're seeing Victor Zsasz show up with another actor. We got
DC loves him.
He's shooting RPGs from his balcony, from his bar.
I didn't want to mention that one. I wanted it to be a surprise for Myke.
Or my favorite is like just little things like people who like, this is something I learned from watching the EFAP mini. There's like a scene where some random scientist happens to have a gun in a drawer. It's not even like in a case or anything. It's just he pulls out a straight up a gun. It's like a Glock 26 or something. I can't remember what it is. Glock 16 or some shit. And like Victor Zsasz looks like it. He goes, "Safety's on," and then he like rips it from him, and he's like, "Huh, just kidding," and killed him. And then the guy goes, "Wait, there's no safety on that Glock." And then you look it up. There is no safety on that Glock. So it's like you use a specific gun, and then you use the line, "Oh, the safety's on." It's like, oh no, at least pick a gun that has a safety actually on it. But granted, those are like things that just like you wouldn't know unless you either were looking for it, already had that knowledge, or even gave a shit in the first place. But I do find it funny because it really does show the lack of effort, if that makes sense. Like, again, like last season where they straight up just copy and pasted a fucking Wikipedia article into a book.
Wow.
So much that they even forgot to take out the
number,
bracketed numbers. That's how people found it. They literally just pulled up a fucking Batman Wikipedia. It was fucking hysterical. I go, man, you're lazy.
Does anyone...
It's bad enough you're untalented, but then you're not even going to at least put in the effort.
Yeah.
I don't care if you came in last place, but damn it, at least try.
Did they sign a Disney contract? Because that seems to be the...
I don't even know anymore. I don't even know.
Dude, just I hate reading through these news projects of film stuff, because it's like, this is just a big Disney cult. Like, all the people that are signing up with Disney, they're all just working together. It's so annoying. Hugh Grant, though, was cast as a villain in the Dungeons and Dragons movie that they're gonna be doing, so that's kind of intriguing.
Another Dungeons and Dragons.
I got another casting.
Jeremy Irons is better.
Well.
Yes, but he's too busy with reshoots for the Snyder Cut. and the Hook sequel. They're doing Hook 2.
Hugh Grant.
Hookier.
And Sophia Lillis. I don't know. She's from It.
What's It?
I didn't watch those.
The remake of It?
I'm assuming.
Okay.
But Hugh Grant is also in Dungeons and Dragons.
That's what I just fucking said.
Wow. welcome back. Welcome back, sir.
These
That was-
fucking.
I could have swore you said a different
You guys
name.
hear the way these guys disrespect me. I should just mute them and just be me talking solo.
Why did I get fucking pulled into that? I was paying attention. I even gave you an extra reference.
Because earlier when I was talking
Punishment
about
by
Ray Fisher, you
association.
were trying to make it sound like I was like a victim accusing everybody that got treated like shit in the film industry.
All right, first of all, it's victim blaming.
Whatever.
Second of all, you're correct.
See? Which I wasn't.
That was
God
me as
damn it.
well.
Yeah, where's his lashings?
I'm just
Stop
gonna cut both of you.
Aw. So I gotta ask.
Uh-oh. Don't ask.
You were talking with shameless plug. You were talking with Austin Mosier the other day about the Wandas and the Visions.
Yes.
Yep, episode
We
8.
did episode 8. Our episode 8 of WandaVision was actually episode 108 for us.
Shit! Coincidonk.
So yeah.
The flump. So I gave up after episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I didn't like it,
Mm-hmm.
just because from what I'd been hearing, because I was like 2 weeks behind at this point.
Yeah.
So I finished episode 2 and I liked it. 1 and 2. I liked it a lot. Then I heard they kind of started to stray away from that kind of thing. Like they were still doing like the referential, like decade type show or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
there was a lot more like reveals and a little bit more MCU stuffy, elements coming in.
Yeah.
So I was like, ugh, I don't want to hate this show immediately. So I figured I'd hold off and kind of see how I wanted to see the discourse and see if it was worth like just binging and pursuing to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard about something being retconned in the last episode that has pissed off a few people. And based on what I've heard, I have some thoughts about that, but I'm curious what you two think right now, just for the
The
sake of
retcon within the show or within
Wanda's
the
origin, I'm
universe.
guessing.
Wanda's origin, yeah.
Yeah, because
And
in
I'm
Age of
curious what you guys
Ultron,
think.
in Age of Ultron, they said they were having dinner and her parents fell through a hole in the floor or something. So
Well,
I mean,
it was one of Stark's bombs, missiles flew through and
Yeah.
then buried them under rubble, and then luckily it
didn't
was a
explode,
dud.
but they stared at it the entire time.
And they were
waiting
trapped under
for it.
rubble for like 2 or 3 days or something, like
Yeah.
4 days, I think it was.
yeah.
And yeah.
Which honestly, I talked about it in the other episode when we discussed this. I found it to be a lot better in my head. The vision I had in my head of Wanda telling that story to, I think it was Stark, right? When she first told it.
No, she was telling it to Ultron.
Ultron. Okay, yeah. So when she first told
Because
Ultron,
it was the movie trying to justify
why she was doing what she was doing.
why her and Quicksilver were ready to take out Stark.
Yeah.
Which I still maintain. For me, I'll throw it out here just so you guys can continue, just so you have what I think.
Yeah,
Just from because I haven't even seen it, but from from where I'm at, it annoys the shit out of me because I understand for people who like X-Men, this is probably something they prefer a little bit more. Something that it seems like, it's the mutant stuff.
Yeah.
Yay, it was a dormant power. Thank God. It didn't
Oh, I
just
thought
come
you were
from
going to go into the inconsistencies of those films.
Well, I think that's pretty much a given. There's no reason to even fucking talk because it's a literal retcon. It's like Goose scratching out Nick's eye. It's fucking retarded. It's a stupid origin and we hate it. It doesn't necessarily change how Nick got his eye. It finally introduced it to us and it was stupid. I think this is on that level where it, depending on who you are, retconning the thing and changing the origin, it's already annoying on a technical level just for the sake of it. But I see why some people who are like big X-Men fans and like that whole deal, like, because, it's about the House of M, blah, blah, blah. I get why you would like it, but I think it really takes away some of the agency and some of the down to earth changes they were making for the MCU. like solely like it makes a little more sense why Wanda and Quicksilver would go after the Avengers in the first part, like the first part of the film.
Yeah.
They got their powers and they hate Stark. They're not necessarily going after the Avengers, they're going after Stark, but they're all in their way.
Mm-hmm.
So that totally makes sense to me. And I like that being a motivation. When you already have these powers, it just kind of feels like, she was able to turn that off. She can still be pissed, but I'm just like, it just feels like the way she gets her powers and their motivations feel like they could be slightly
It's actually a little more egregious than that. Because so in the show, they don't talk about mutant shit at all.
No,
it does not come up.
They're definitely not going to say that. But
when
you say that she has dormant powers or something, I mean you're pretty close to that.
She says she doesn't even know that she has that it supposedly happened within the episode. They don't go into any of like her knowing anything or knowing she could do any magic is what it is.
Chaos magic, if you will.
Well, that's later, but yeah. But what's worse about it is they're even going away from the mutant stuff. They disregarded what they've already established, but they're basically just making it sound like she's a witch, like she was born a fucking witch, kind of like Charmed. She was born into being a witch. And that's what helped her get the powers that she actually has from the Infinity Stone. That's how it comes to be, which is actually worse than trying to say, oh, she has mutant powers that helped her do this.
That is dumber. I'm sorry. I'm not knowing the show. I came up with something that was at least a little smarter.
Yeah.
Well, because now how do you explain Quicksilver?
That's exactly what I said. I was like, wait, her, because they do a full scene of her getting her powers, because of course they don't show the other guy because he's not in the show.
Yeah.
They show a whole scene,
and they don't want you to think about it,
right?
No, they make you ask
think
questions
about it,
like this the entire series, and that's been the most fun. Which is what I said earlier on when we first started talking about. This is one of those shows that once you finish it, when you go back and rewatch it, it will never be the same again because you know what's going to happen. It's like you know the answers already.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I am very much one of those people. Like after I see it, I gotta go back again. Seeing if they actually earned the payoff that they gave me is half the fun for me. Like I've talked about it to death. Haunting a Hill House.
Mm-hmm.
I know all the stuff now. I've finished the whole thing twice, and I've watched the whole thing. I'm rewatching it currently with Hannah, and I did the EFAP breakdowns and stuff. So I learned all these other little things that I missed. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going back with all of that knowledge and seeing how it all like played together, just watching it and having all those little pieces.
Yeah.
It's a completely different experience. Like if you go back knowing how Breaking Bad ends and starting from the beginning, you're like, fuck, man, you forget like this is where they started. And it's so interesting to see the pieces be chipped away rather than it's like, each week I'll
you're
watch
looking for that though. That's what I'm saying. It's a different experience.
And I think I won't necessarily say good or bad, but I definitely enjoy it. It's a nice way to re-enjoy something that I've already taken.
Well, I understand. I'm watching the final season of Attack on Titan, and I'm remembering all these foreshadowing to stuff going on in this final season. I'm like, I need to watch all 4 of these seasons back to back because holy crap, they hid so much in this, like right in your face, obvious that you didn't even think about.
I'm gonna have a question for you guys after we get done with this. If you're done with this, John, so
no, I'm good. Keep going.
But my question's gonna take us completely off course, but with this show, like, I think the best thing as a viewer right now is watching it week to week, because then you have a whole week to think of like, oh, this could happen or this could happen or this could happen. The people that actually think, not the people that just want to be told every single thing right away or anything like that. And there are points where they're like revealing some things a little too soon. I was like, oh, I didn't want to know that already. Like,
it's like, oh, I thought that was going to be the whole point of the show. And it's like, oh, no. Oh, you mean like Batwoman when she gets her suit fucking 20 minutes into the first episode?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're talking about the pilot where they tell you literally everything in 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
But yeah, that's been like the best thing about the show for me as far as like rewatchability. So far I've only gone back and rewatched 2 episodes, which was episode 8 because I wanted to refresh real quick before we did the show. And then I rewatched the Halloween episode that they have in there
7
because Evan Peters
6
is very prominent in that episode and I really like him, so that's why I did that.
And I just like holiday episodes, specifically Halloween.
Yeah.
I like show. I have noticed in the past, most shows that I really like, their holiday special tends to be the Halloween one.
Yeah.
Like they'll do a Christmas one, but the Halloween one's always like the best one.
Yeah.
I.e. Roseanne.
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement.
Modern Family. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, the best thing is really just watching it and waiting and like, you know, having it stew in your brain and trying to figure out, especially if there's things that are happening that you don't recognize from comics, especially for non-comic book readers. You could be like confused as fuck. And then even for some comic book readers, like there's some stuff that's going on in there that I don't get because I didn't read every single version of every comic out there. It's
I just
ridiculous.
worry about the show. I worry about the show, and then after I've enjoyed the show and I'm like, okay, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's when I start going deep dives. Like I go find like comic book historian people who like, this is why I liked WandaVision. And then you watch it and you're like, oh shit, did they really? Oh no, you're full of shit. That didn't happen. You know, stuff like that.
People will make up shit for you. You know?
Oh man. Oh, the gymnastics. It's
but
beautiful.
I still do hold that the first 2 episodes are probably my favorite 2 episodes.
Dude, you see why I'm saying? Like I loved them both.
Because,
and I'm just like, I can't keep going. I gotta wait. I gotta wait.
Well, they didn't reveal anything in those 2 episodes, which was really nice. And you were just confused the entire fucking time. And it was awesome. And then they go and start revealing shit. And you're like, oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck you too. Okay. Ow. We'll go with that. But fuck you.
Why? See, and I always feel bad because there's always that question because you're always going to get it on the internet. You can't help it. I hate this idea. It's like, well, it's because your fan theory. You just thought your fan theory was better than what they did. I go, yeah,
because usually it is.
But not only that, but it's like, what if a bunch of fans, like a bunch of hardcore fans who are even like bigger fans than me, who read comics and all this stuff, and they were like, this has got to be what they're going to do. Everybody loves this. This is great. This is the way. And there's like 3 or 4 options that all sound amazing. And then they do one and you're like almost unanimous, like half the people are like, that's shit.
Yeah.
And you're just like, at what point is it they actually did a shitty job versus like, oh, you just wanted a specific thing to happen.
Right. The one thing
it's a hard conversation to have, I guess.
The thing that gets me too about this is like when something actually happens in the show that I've seen people talk about, like, oh, this is going to happen or this is this person. Yeah. When that happens, it bums me out because I'm like, oh, what? They didn't put that much thought into it then if people were able to guess it so easily.
Well, I don't know. Maybe at what point do you get to give credit to the fans for looking at stuff? Like, I think the Agatha thing was perfect. Like, the little brooch, that's how people found out. It was a little tiny brooch she had. And I go, no, anybody who doesn't because I would have never found that. Yeah. Unless, but I watched people like Nerdrotic.
But see, I was kind of hoping that I was just hoping that was a little Easter egg and that she wasn't actually that person.
But that's the fun part is that's where you watch. And then if they never reveal it, it's like, oh, okay. Or they do. And it's like, oh, it was right. Okay. Yeah. Like that's where I'm at. Cause I was like, at least they put the effort in and actually gave you.
John, I just want what I want and I want it right.
All right. And I want it now. It's my money and I need it now.
I pay for the damn app. Give me what I want and don't tell me otherwise.
Oh, how dare you? Did you say map?
App. Yeah. App.
All right.
App.
All right.
It's my app.
I was going to try and figure out a way to turn that so that worked. Also, congratulations on the Myke arm, Tivis.
Yeah, he's had that.
The audience appreciates you and loves you for it. And you feel very profesh now.
Profesh.
You're definitely picking up my cat in the mic, by the way.
Well,
I can't hear
apparently
anything.
it's probably its butthole because I see its tail.
All right, so let's move away from Wanda and stuff because I don't want to talk about it. We just talked about it. What do you got? Anything else, Tivis? Before I dive into my question when John gets back because he's not here.
I don't have anything pre-prepared, so no.
All right, so then with that, I have to ask you guys. Because we were kind of talking about it. What is? Give me 2 shows, at least two to 3 shows that you have watched many times. Like, we'll say at least 3 times all the way through. Let's go that way. That you still enjoy, but you are starting to like rip them apart at the same time.
You didn't say please.
Anything?
This is gonna be so hard for me.
I'll put this one for my first one. I'm gonna put 2 together.
Okay.
As a cop out.
All right.
I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Okay. I love it. Legend of Korra. I really enjoyed when I watched it the first time.
Was that the Netflix one, or is that something different?
It's the sequel series.
No, it's just the sequel series.
Okay.
Like they're like into the future and stuff.
Gotcha.
I liked some elements like the pro bending. I thought was kind of neat, and just kind of some of the more like diplomatic stuff that they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a complete course correction or whatever from the first one. I think the first one's far superior. But now that I've watched like videos from like ER, and I've watched just a lot of breakdowns lately of both of them. I think Legend of Korra.
I prefer General Hospital.
There you go. Bold and the Beautiful is where it's at, to be completely honest. I think Legend of Korra is absolute trash now. I don't even think I've even remotely tried to watch that again. I still really, really enjoy Avatar: Last Airbender, but man, I've noticed a myriad of problems now that people have pointed them out.
Yeah.
And they're really hard to miss. But I still enjoy the characters, and it's such an easy watch for me that I enjoy the world, I enjoy the concepts. That I'll still watch the shit out of the first Avatar. I think it's really stellar. Especially book 3. Book 3 is pretty much once Toph is introduced. I'm like, the show is fucking fire and earth and wind and water.
Not to get too far from the topic, but are you excited for the new stuff they said they're going to try to make?
No.
Nickelodeon?
Not at all. It doesn't seem like a lot of the creators are getting the freedom that they were originally promised. Especially after watching Legend of Korra again, I think they've lost sight of what they wanted to do in the first place. I think they're too far removed, and I don't believe that Nickelodeon or Netflix are going to give them.
Oh, Netflix isn't involved. They left the Netflix project. They said they didn't want any part of it.
Well, and if you've watched anything on Nickelodeon these days, it's pretty much as trash as live action Disney stuff. Like, not even just the movies. I'm talking like their TV shows. I have zero faith. I would rather set my bar very low and be pleasantly surprised. But yeah, between the movie Legend of Korra and all the stuff I've heard behind the scenes, I don't. Oh, and Dragon Prince was pretty trash. So I never even heard of that. Yeah, that was a Netflix show that those guys did, and we tried a couple episodes, and people were kissing its ass. I hate that style animation that they used, and it's kind of like Ruby. But yeah, I have zero interest unless something comes out and blows me away. Other than that, no. Absolute poo on all of it. I'll be a poo bender.
Awesome.
For a second thing, oh god, something I could still watch a bunch that people hate. I mean, I always say Batman and Robin. That's always but I guess I should try and find something else.
Yeah. Well, no.
Wait, I mean, is it that people hate or that we pick apart?
That I understand that. Or wait, what was the question? So it's more like that I understand, that I understand his shit, or what am I doing?
No, like 2 or 3 shows that you've watched multiple times.
Yeah,
that you still love, but you can also like start finding
flaws,
dumb shit in them. Flaws or anything.
To be honest, I think that's anything I watch you can find flaws in. How I Met Your Mother is a really good one.
Okay.
I like I like that show, but aside from the fact that the ending is so shit, you really see a lot of balls being dropped every season through character motivations and choices, and the fact that people keep coming back together after pretty catastrophic decisions. It kind of blows my mind. A lot of characters just forgive and forget extremely quickly for no reason.
Yeah.
And I'd even argue the first couple of seasons of like the CW stuff reminds me of that. Just people kind of being really pissed off and keeping secrets and doing all this stuff. And their whole point is that every season there's a secret kept between them. So they're all doing it all the time, yet they always forgive each other constantly. Which in a normal relationship, sure. But in this kind of with these people, a lot of the decisions that these people make, they're life and death. You know what I mean? Like if you can't trust the person who's supposed to be doing your comms and save your life and do all this other shit, if I can't even trust you in the minute shit, how am I going to do it with everything else? Like, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah. How Many Mothers? Yeah. Probably up there. I don't know how much I've really got. I've gone back and rewatched stuff lately that I've found very, very strong that I think have gotten better with age. I've been watching The Simpsons again lately. Incredible. Been watching the original Muppet Show. Fucking so underrated. It's so good. The original Muppet Show is so good. I just watched Nothing to Lose with Tim Robbins and Martin Lawrence. That got better. So yeah, I've been doing a little bit of both. Going back, seeing stuff and ripping it apart. And
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Tivis?
I am really struggling to come up with a second one here, but
we'll give us your first.
First one, I mean, I don't really look for any of this stuff or even think about it, honestly. So it's really difficult for me. Gundam Wing, the animated or anime.
Okay. What is it?
Gundam Wing. I have the box set behind me. I've watched that show probably 12 times front and back, but it's and this is only because of its age. The animation style, like you can tell it was hand drawn, and when they go from page to page, like things jump around and it starts to get shaky. And once I realize that, it's so hard for me to unsee it, and it ruins the experience. Shit, I was gonna say Power Rangers, but I've really only watched that like twice all the way through.
Well, twice is fine. I mean, shit.
Oh, Mighty Morphin is definitely. Oh God, I fucking tried to rewatch the old He-Man shit back in the day.
The 80s He-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what. That's what the Netflix show is continuing from.
That and Mighty Morphin were things that me and Hannah just decided one afternoon. We're like, we're gonna watch some episodes just for fun. After 3 episodes of each show, I called my mom and apologized. It's like, thank you for buying me all the awesome toys, but I'm sorry you ever had to watch any of these.
I mean, that's all He-Man was. He-Man was literally just there to sell toys. That whole show was just there for toys.
I prefer She-Ra myself. That is not a joke, by the way. I do think She-Ra was more fun, but it was lacking Skeletor. Fuck off, He-Man!
I guess I can go with Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay.
Because I have watched that, like the actual good, not Kai. Screw off people who prefer Kai. The good version with all the filler and like character moments.
What's the difference? What's Kai? What's that?
Kai is the updated. It looks better. I'll give them that. But it cuts out all the filler and sticks closer to the manga.
Is it just remastered or is it like a whole different series?
They changed some of the script. Like when it was originally translated, there's a couple of errors that they fixed.
So wait. So it's like taking all the old episodes and essentially re-editing and redubbing? Is that what that is?
They did complete reanimation for them.
Oh,
okay.
And new dub with, updated equipment and stuff. So it sounds better.
God, that is not the first time that's happened. I can think of like 2 other shows they did that. Red versus Blue did that. They did that. And there was a second one. God, I wonder if they're ever going to do that with Ruby. They'd be fucking stupid to do that. That'd be shitting on Monty's legacy so hard.
So they probably will.
Kind of, yeah. I think Rooster Teeth.
Because who owns it now? Warner Brothers or AT&T?
Yeah,
so.
AT&T
Warner Media.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. They're good at that.
Those fucks.
They'll give it to Snyder, and he'll do his Snyder cut of it.
But that one I can go more than just the anime. The story. You watch it as a kid, and you're like, oh man. Now look at those explosions and colors and shit. And now you like.
Yeah, as a kid, I was telling my mom, look at that shit.
Man, this really is just the same 3 beats over and over.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I watched Ninja Turtles all the time in the 90s. I'm never going to apologize to my mom for that. That shit was awesome, bro.
Well, it's because I picked stuff that didn't age well. Even with all just the turtles getting animation fucking up and not giving them the right colors or weapons or letters on their stuff. I've seen screenshots.
Of what?
They've had like stills of like the old turtles. There were some animated scenes where they like, you could tell he couldn't be fucking arsed to like change stuff. So like Donatello had like Michelangelo's button on it, even though he was still purple, and like vice versa and shit like that. Or they gave the wrong weapons to each other and shit like that. I always found that funny. Shit. Hannah and I went back and started watching all the old, well, we talked about this before, going back and watched all the Scooby-Doos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been enjoying those while shitting on the newer stuff. So
you guys are a bunch of
which again
nerds.
is the opposite of the question. But
I tell you TV shows and you guys give me fucking cartoon TV shows, which I guess is cool, but fucking nerds.
I've watched Trigun so many times. I can point out a scene in episode 3 where you can clearly see the bar outlined through the guy's forehead in the animation. They forgot to erase the lines.
See, it's a hard and I'm really happy you asked this question. It blows my mind because it's difficult to like pin down these movies because it's like I've been watching a lot of older movies again to see if they stand up. The 90s was a weird time for film because it was like
extreme.
Well, they did like it was almost like a lot of like even live action, like down to earth movies were like fucking cartoons. Like watch a Home Alone or Home Alone 2.
What's the one where
there's literally a scene where one of the dudes grabs the battery, Marv grabs the battery and he gets zapped and he turns into a fucking skeleton. And it's like, granted, like people would be like, oh, you like such and such, or you say this sucks because it's unbelievable. I'm like, yeah, but the thing is back in the night, that was the tone.
Yeah.
And these movies really set those tone and you were used to them at that time. Like the movies that are being made right now just don't fit. They
try and fit into realism too much nowadays.
Well, or not enough. It's one or the other. It's like they can't figure out when they've decided to cross that line.
But
and stay there. You know what I mean? Because once you set that precedent, then you get to stay with it. You can't like have Marv get hit by a brick from 7 stories up, and then he trips down a flight of stairs and breaks his arm. You know what I mean? Like you can't. You gotta play with this a little bit. Like I don't expect the Home Alone of mechanics to be part of the Terminator 2 mechanics. You know what I mean? Or like when I watch Predator, I'm not expecting someone to turn into a skeleton unless the Predator literally rips his skin off. You know? So because I've had that conversation a lot with people lately, and mostly Hannah and a couple other internet buddies, but because I get that, because people are like, oh, you talk about like you like Home Alone 2, or you like Cool Runnings, and you like, you know, a lot of these 90s movies. Nothing to Lose was one of them. But it's like there were moments where people were just punching each other in the face and like big car accidents and stuff. But it's like, I mean, I always felt like somebody was going to be able to die. Like,
yeah,
you know, and then somebody actually gets shot and you're sitting there and you're like, oh, fuck, this got real. And it was like, there was always that possibility, but it wasn't that I didn't think they couldn't be hurt. It was like, it was funny. And now it's like, oh, the tone has shifted. Shit just got real.
Right.
Not to quote Bad Boys 2, which is also a Martin Lawrence film, but it is an interesting
as long as it's not Bad Boys 3, we're good.
But then you get like a Mulan that she's like defying gravity and has chi and shit. I don't know.
That movie didn't make any sense We're not talking about
terrible.
that movie.
That movie is still on like every fucking TV at a Walmart that I work from time to time.
It's because Disney wants those views.
Fucking kill. Well, it's because Walmart's owned by China. Let's be fair.
Disney's like, yeah, you play Disney Plus Mulan, so our views go up, so we can tell people this was a good movie.
I'm not gonna lie. I took a picture because it was
that would be genius.
It was like the aisle that had like, you know, like 10, like 23-inch and 32-inch.
Yeah.
Like they were all just lined up. There's like 14, 15 of them just like lined up, all playing the same thing, all cued to the same scene.
Yeah.
So I took a picture and I sent it to Hannah and I go, somehow I feel like they got 15 views just watching this. I think they're pumping their numbers.
Unfortunately, they wouldn't. It would just be based off of one.
No, it's totally a joke.
It's just one, unfortunately. Because
it's probably some fucking demo. Well, no, I'm saying it's probably just some demo USB that they were given.
Yeah.
Because again,
well, no, if it was a demo USB, then they would be in every single different one. They'd have to put it in every one. What it is they probably have a Blu-ray player hooked up somewhere, and then it's ran all into there, or the computer or whatever. I did it when I owned the one store. I had all the TVs playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 all day long.
That's fucking hilarious.
Have you ever gone into a store and seen like all of them playing something except for one is like on golf or something, and you know it's because the employee wanted to watch the golf tournament?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. A long time ago when I worked at Sears in the electronics department, dude, we used to have a bunch of TV. There were always like one movie that we had to play, but then one TV was designated for the Shakira live concert DVD and shit.
Yeah, that's a good live concert. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
You watch Shakira and Pink.
Yeah. There was
those two put up some good concerts.
There was this older dude that worked in the department. He would always just stand there staring, and it was like his personal DVD too. It wasn't like owned by the store. He would just always bring it in.
How sticky was the disc, you think?
Oh, I didn't even want to touch it. Didn't even want to touch it.
Sorry, guys.
That was so long ago.
Guys, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to anybody who I might have sold a TV to that was a ripoff.
Oh man. So we've been talking about TV shows and stuff that we've been watching, catching up on things like that. What are your two shows? I'm going to turn it back on you. What are the two things you watching that suck?
That suck. Well, one that I've been rewatching has been Dexter again. That's
Nick. Good though.
But
there's a lot of.
After a while, you start seeing a lot
season
of
5 and 6 are fucking abysmal.
We just finished season 5, and me and Nick were calling bullshit out on so much.
That's the Colin Hanks one, right? The apocalypse, the doomsday killer.
No. I think that's season 6. Season 5 is with Julia Stiles.
Julia Stiles. Yeah. I like that season.
It's a good season.
Oh no, there's some stupid in
but
that
there's
one.
A lot of dumb in it. Like
a lot of dumb.
I'm like, okay, none of these characters are acting like these characters.
Oh well, and it's just like you could start to feel the behind the scenes stuff showing up.
Yeah.
That's when it hurt. And then Doomsday Killer was insane.
Yeah.
And then I actually really enjoyed the first half of the last season, because I liked what they were trying to set up and what they were doing, and then they recontextualized a bunch of stuff, and then I fucking immediately hated it.
Half of what season?
The one with the psychologist lady. That was
7.
The final season, wasn't
7 or 8, yeah.
I thought it was the final season.
I think it is. It might be the final season.
It is the final season because, spoilers, fucking Debbie eats it at the end.
It's a horrible season.
It's a fucking terrible season. I wonder how ending.
I wonder if when they do this 9th season, if they're going to be like, season 8 was erased, like every other thing has been.
Why would you not? I would.
Like all the movies and shit are doing that. They're like, all these other movies are erased anyways. This is what comes last. So it would make sense, and I think that would be pretty funny if they did that. So we'll see.
Fucking Tivis just popped up. We're back in Dinosaur Story.
That's such a good movie.
What a fucking fantastic film.
Wait till they make that live action and ruin it.
That is an underrated film, by the way. I would argue they did. It's called Dinosaurs.
Exactly. Like I said, wait till they make a live action and ruin it.
I've been watching Dinosaurs too. I
have been watching Dinosaurs. I got that.
I canceled my Disney Plus, but because I bought the year, I get to use it until November.
Yeah.
and I don't plan on renewing it. So pretty much my plan is to binge a bunch of shows that I like and see which ones are actually worth buying the box sets of.
If they make those, please release those.
No shit.
I think they've already done it for Mandalorian, so I'm sure they'll do it for all their shit.
Did they?
Ooh. Yeah. I think Dinosaurs is going to be one. I'm going to spend as much as I can.
I thought you owned that.
No, I never bought it. And
it's
I don't know why.
cheap. Super cheap.
Yeah. I intend to get that. Muppet shows. I'm going to get Simpsons at some point.
Yeah.
And I've just
realized.
Good
luck with season 3.
Dude, good luck with any of those seasons, man. They're fucking hard to get.
You better get the Simpsons before they decide they're going to ban it from the stores.
Or start fucking editing all of them.
They already have started editing this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Why do you think they pulled all of Fox's movies out of production? They don't want Die Hard and all that shit out. They want to reboot it and make it dumber.
Well, that's what I said when they got bought. I believe I even said it'd be less than 6 months until you started seeing
I would like to see how they make Die Hard dumber than the last one.
Trust me, they will.
I've seen Hollywood. They did. It's called The Doorman with fucking Ruby Rose. It's literally Die Hard, dude, with Jean Reno in it.
They will remake the first Die Hard movie almost like script wise anyways, except they will make it more focused on Christmas because it's a Christmas movie and Disney doesn't know what the fuck they're
Christian,
talking about.
Idiot, it'd be holiday. God, what the fuck? Where have you been?
Oh yeah. That's a holiday tree.
I'm gonna try for the 5th time to finish this.
Nope.
Sorry.
I have noticed all the stuff I've watched on my Disney Plus account is all stuff Disney does not own, except for what they paid for. I mean,
what do you mean?
Is it
like
Simpsons,
the stuff that
Fox.
they didn't produce?
Yeah. Muppets, Disney, dinosaurs. Fucking.
They own the Muppets. They did the Muppets.
No, I'm saying they own it.
They produced
didn't do all
the
old.
Muppets.
They didn't do all the old stuff.
It was Disney's The Muppets. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The Muppet Show? No. I refuse.
Am
I about to eat crow?
Show.
Am I about to eat
Comedy
crow?
series.
Don't do it.
I thought the Muppets it's Jim Henson, but it was Disney.
Yeah.
It was always Disney. Like even the Muppet movies were Disney, I believe.
Are you sure?
I'm looking it up.
Like the Great Muppet Caper? Oh, no, yeah, Christmas Carol. I think the movies were, but the Muppet Show? I thought the Muppet Show was Fox.
What about Xenon?
It doesn't say, honestly.
Like the Girl of the Future?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that
But
movie.
those are on there.
Girl of the 21st Century? Is that what it is? Or
yeah.
Yeah, I like that show.
I didn't realize
Kirsten
there was 3
Storms, man. I think she went on to be on General Hospital.
It just says it was produced by...
I'm not kidding. I think she was on General Hospital.
It says it was produced by Jim Henson for ABC in the 70s.
Which I think was a...
But Disney
I don't know if
didn't
at the
own
time,
ABC
but they were...
then.
Okay.
I don't think Disney owned ABC
because
back
they
then.
do now.
Yeah. They own almost everything.
So I might have been semi-right.
Because
the movies like Treasure Island, Christmas Carol, and
yeah,
all
you're
that,
right. You're right. It's not. It wasn't Disney. It doesn't look like it was Disney made.
I'm pretty sure they
I
were
think it was just
Fox
Jim
or 20th
Henson
Century
Studios.
Well, it was Jim Henson Studios with either Fox or 20th Century.
So when you watch the intro, it should tell you.
I'll have to
I think it was whoever did Sesame Street because they had some crossover between them a few
PBS?
times. Yeah.
Well, they didn't own them; they were just the broadcaster.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna watch an episode tonight, so I will come back on that and let you know. Because I'm too lazy to look at anything. If I'm using my phone to look up anything, it's to see what Pokemon I can catch on Pokemon Go. Tivis, I'm on it every day. Send me gifts, you bitch.
I know, I don't log in often.
He finally added me after all these years, and I was just like,
"Oh, it is
I sent you my code first."
And
you did. You did.
Boreham Wood and ATV Elstree are the two. It was made in the UK, so they're UK companies. Associated Television and Henson Associates and ITC Entertainment.
I learned something today.
So when the hell did Disney buy that?
You were right about General Hospital. She was also in Days of Our Lives.
Fucking told you. I know my soaps.
Don't tell him.
I watch my stories. Dude, that was the pun I had for Hannah and I's team name for our Extra Life charity stream we do. The Bald and the Beautiful.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Because Hannah's bald.
The other show I want to start watching again that I've watched like 3 times already all the way through is Psych.
Michael's just fucking down there all by himself. Me and Tivis are having our own show up here.
I know. Psych. I want to rewatch Psych again.
Oh yeah.
I saw season 5 is on Amazon, but I don't know if the rest of them are.
That Monk.
Yes, I
never got into Monk. I did the one with the faces Lie to Me, I think it was, with the guy that used to be Abomination.
I think it's literally called Lie to Me.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and then there was a CBS one called The Mentalist.
Yeah, I never watched that.
Sunlight.
There's only certain ones. It was random shows that I would get into. It was weird.
Castle, for sure, I liked.
Didn't do that, and I didn't do Bones either.
See, and I did I liked Bones. There was a specific season with a sniper, and that was the season I think I dumped. I dunked out, and then I finished it when they got canceled.
Gotcha.
A lot of those shows, they fall off at a certain point, and I'm just like, I'm waiting until they're done. And then when they're done, I'll come back. Because it's just, I just don't care. I feel like if they're just formulaic now, it doesn't feel like they're putting in the effort. I'm just like, well, why should I?
I remember when Fringe came out, I was like, it's a ripoff of X-Files. Like when it first came out, I was like, I'm not going to watch this shit. I was like, I wanted to because the guy from Mighty Ducks is in it. And that was
the one that Leonard Nimoy's in?
Joshua Jackson.
Yeah. But that
Charlie Conway.
I didn't watch it for the longest time until I was in Florida already, so I didn't watch it till a few years back.
For the longest time.
For the longest time.
Also a song sang in How I Met Your Mother. Man, we're just fucking all over the place today.
But yeah. That has the crazy king from Lord of the Rings in it.
Fringe has Leonard Nimoy.
Is he in that?
Yeah, it's a J.J. Abrams produced joint, man. You guys gonna watch
probably the only good produced thing I ever did.
I really liked Almost Human, and of course it got fucking canceled after like 13 episodes.
Oh, well,
fucking abysmal.
I do like
people liked Lost.
What I've seen, anyways, of
someone's at my door.
Lovecraft Country, because I find it hilarious that.
Oh God. Have you seen? This looks like a fucking J.J. Abrams produced thing. I don't know if it is him or not, but have you seen promos for what's it called? Debris.
No.
Yeah, it looks kind of weird.
He
kind
just
of reminds me of like
does too
the
many.
100.
Oh, okay.
Sci-fi.
There's like a billion shows that are like 100, or like there's always like random people falling out of the sky or some shit. I'm like, what? Why? And then half of them are CW shows anyways. I'm just like, no, this is dumb.
Oh man. Have you watched Walker yet?
No, I'm not gonna watch that shit.
Yeah, I can't bring myself. I want to, just because I actually really like the old Texas Ranger, but I'm like, it's not gonna be anything like that.
Right.
I'll be checking it out when I can on some streaming service.
Good. Let me know. Yeah, because unless they just bring it to the CW app and I can just watch it, like haphazardly, I don't give a toss. I wasn't even invested for the last 2 seasons of Supernatural, but fucking hell, the way they ended it, go fuck yourself, show.
Did you see someone from Supernatural is attached to the boys now?
Yeah, Jensen Ackles is going to play Soldier Boy in season 3.
And I swear to God, if they don't play Soldier Boy's song, and when they introduce him, I'm going to be sad.
No, you can't do that because he talks about Superman.
So?
We can't have him Superman in that hoe.
So?
Do you know what Superman that hoe means? Do you know what that means?
Change the words.
Superman, a girl?
Change the words to what's his face?
God damn, dude, you are terrible with names.
No, that's Marvel.
You guys suck with names.
Yeah, I do. I don't even remember my friends' names half the time.
Oh, that hurts my feelings.
I'm sorry, Mike. I mean, wait, John. That's right.
I like how you use your own name.
I know.
Fucking narcissist. What are you, Donald Trump?
Excuse me.
It's the best name.
Excuse
the best
me.
name ever.
Excuse me. I have the best friends. No, my friend. Your friend. No, excuse me. Okay.
Oh no, did I break Tivis?
I wasn't expecting that.
Did I break Tivis? Fuck, I forgot what we were talking about.
That was really good.
I have the best memory. Oh no, I lost it. I can't do it. Fuck. Walker, don't give a shit. Debris, don't give a shit.
I just don't give a shit about those shows.
Boys. Yeah, I'm really gonna watch it just most out of hate. I'm gonna hate watch.
You didn't like the second season, right?
Oh boy, I hated the fucking second season.
Well, he liked it up until like episode 4.
To be honest, I liked it to the end of episode 2. I actually liked it. 4 was when I just go, okay, I'm done. That was kind of how that one went. It was kind of like how I did with Mandalorian. I was like, episode 1 was pretty awesome. Second episode, I go, ooh, there's a lot of dumb in this, but I still kind of like it. 3, I go, what the fuck was that episode? And then the 4th one, I go, this is the worst fucking episode of TV I've seen in a while. I'm fucking out.
I didn't watch season 2 of Mando, but do you think that Grogu or Baby Yoda is supposed to be in the 3rd season, or are they moving him to a different show?
They haven't said yet.
You can only hope.
Give me Mandalorian how he was in the first episode of the first season.
Yes.
Like that's
what I'm saying.
That's what
I don't get your guys' love.
I want Cowboy Bebop. Like that's what I want.
didn't like that first episode.
You didn't like that first episode?
No, I watched that and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this show. This is sad.
You
are almost literally the only person who's ever said that. Like I think you might literally be the only person
and
with
it's
that
not
take.
Baby Yoda because I literally don't care if he's there. I would prefer if he's
That's
not.
all the
So it didn't save the show
Baby
for me.
Yoda, though.
Pretty much.
That's what the entire fucking show is about for the whole, especially the whole first season. I was more excited.
I'm like, oh, we get to see some Outer Rim, planets, see what life is like out there.
And you get to see Baby Yoda try and, make an entire race go extinct by eating the eggs. Awesome.
And eat blue stuff.
Cool.
Eat blue stuff.
I'd rather see the Western
Spiders.
shit, dude. Like,
well, it neuters your main character. And you always have to come up with convoluted, stupid bullshit to leave the baby behind.
After this anyways, his character's already going to look like a little bitch, so it doesn't matter.
He's a bitch.
Like a father.
How much you think they would pay Gina Carano to come back after they realize they really fucked up?
Oh, she's not going to go back. Are you fucking kidding me? That's why I love.
I don't know. She likes the people on set. I mean,
you're
it's
not
just
doing
the company.
that. Not enough. You couldn't pay me enough, dude. Fuck
some of the stuff that's been said about fucking leadership at Lucasfilm. Dude, they got to get their shit together.
Yeah.
Like if you did an overhaul of all the executive and higher ups, yeah, absolutely. I'd consider it.
Something there's something
there's
read
no excuse.
That they were trying to also
stuff
get Rosario Dawson knocked out too.
Well, they were already doing that forever ago. They were already doing that. What turf shit?
Dawson's Creek.
Because she said something that the fucking trans community didn't like. And guess what? I don't give a shit. You can go fucking automobile your trains over somewhere else. I don't give a fuck.
Rosario Dawson.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Because she's like,
what?
I don't know.
That was a
long time ago too, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was way before this Gina Carano shit. It's just they dropped that quick. I don't know why. And then they all of a sudden just didn't care. And now that
they realized they were wrong.
Trust me, these people don't know right or wrong.
It seems like the Gina Carano thing, they just really they just wanted a reason to get rid of her. That's all it was.
It's because she's conservative. People don't like that. People don't like it. People don't like right-leaners right now.
Don't you think Bill Burr's conservative? I would find him
yes,
more.
I do. I think he absolutely is. But on top of that, I just he doesn't have as much stake. Like he's in like one episode. She's in like half the seasons.
I did like,
and she's considered a huge icon.
Did you guys hear his podcast where he was talking about it?
No, I've just seen some quotes and some excerpts.
I actually listened to what he was saying because the way they quote him saying it, they make it sound like everything he was saying was about Gina when it wasn't. Necessarily, they took it out of context. But
what? Imagine that.
Right? News sources taking things out of context. What? But because he's like trying to shy away from the entire topic, of course, but he's like,
sure.
I just don't know what the fuck I can even say because I work for them too. So it's like,
yeah,
you kind of
I've been listening to the breakdown on Rebel Force Radio, and it really sounds like she did something to scorn one of the higher ups, because like regardless of how the reason behind she was let go, they raked her over the coals, made it as public as possible, and it was clear that they didn't like her for some reason.
Dude, they got rid of her action figure. Who the fuck does that?
Like the Funko's still coming out.
Trump still has dolls made of him from fucking companies. You tell what the fuck?
I'm not sure that that's the same thing, but sure.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if
it's
they're
ridiculous
thinking like that, it's ridiculous. Like, Charles Manson has merchandise too. Like, what the fuck?
Oh wow. Okay. I do.
Those are egregious like examples too. By the way, I'm not comparing Gina Carano to those guys.
I think there is still one action figure coming out, but it's like one of the most popular collector series. So
because everybody's just buying them up, and like they're like breaking like triple digits now on eBay and shit. The whole like scorning executive. I don't give a damn. It's like how they scorn them. Probably didn't agree with their position. Like that's probably.
It sounds like she didn't take their written apology when that stuff went down last fall.
Of course not.
They took it as offensive
because they were wrong. It's because they were wrong.
Wait, what apology? What was this?
When she was making that stance against pronouns.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say that. She was making a stance against people pushing her, peer pressure. Yes.
They were trying to push her into putting her pronouns in her Twitter profile.
When she did the beep bop boop thing.
Yeah.
Which was fucking hilarious.
There are hundreds of thousands of celebrities out there that don't have their pronouns in there. And yet they attack one fucking person.
Well, not only that, it shouldn't matter. I work for your company. I don't work for your ideology, you fucking pieces of shit.
You're a Disney. You work for Disney. You work for them, and you are them. Damn it!
I currently work for a company that's done some really dumb shit too. I'm boycotting the only place I work for. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? I know it's hypocritical, but I'm broke. But at the same time, it's like, well, I don't need to buy their shit.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Because you pissed me off, and people are like, "Really, you're going to do that with everything?" No, but if I can, and especially when it's probably already unhealthy for me in the first place to be buying said product, maybe I'm doing myself a favor either way.
Well, it's not only that. There's also other examples of Lucasfilm, like she was talking about toxic behavior. That's also been done with. They let an author go because he said one swear word on Twitter.
Yep, mm-hmm.
Yep. And it's silly.
For a year, he's been loyal to them before Disney bought them, and they just like, nope. But one of the writers for The Last Jedi was calling fans stupid and everything else, and Marvel, a different division of Disney, had to step in. It's ridiculous. There is no leadership at Lucasfilm.
No. And Lucasfilm is a fucking nightmare, dude. It's a cesspool. Like it's so sad because they should be printing money.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was and we've said this since Force Awakens has come out. You bought this. You could have bought this for $20 billion and it was a slam dunk. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
You're like, it's Star Wars. I mean, look at the way. Oh, fuck you.
Still in the plastic.
Tivis, stop printing their money.
My whole thing is that people are fucking loyal to this shit. And for once, I'm turning off my hate. I'm going to go in neutral here. Regardless of whether or not you like the sequel trilogy and how it came out, the whole thing is that there should have been enough stories to tell that even if that didn't go well, you should have been able to find talent and produce something of quality somewhere. Granted, I am obviously showing my cards with the words I'm picking, but understand what I'm saying. Like, fine, I didn't like the sequel trilogy. You did. Okay, good. You go buy their toys, you go buy their merch, and stop saying it's the best fucking Star Wars films. Shut up. Also, me, fine, I get the chance for The Mandalorian. Great. No, they fucked that up too. It's one of those things where you got some merch out of it, you made some neat costumes. I guarantee you that stuff's going to weigh thin. I guarantee you the superficiality of the things that they've been producing, it's going to wear thin. A lot of the people that they are targeting right now, they are not the people that are lifelong fans. They aren't the people. They're going to find something else in 5 years, and they're never going to think about this shit ever again. 100%. I'm very, very confident on that.
Well, it's funny, the people that everyone is always trying to target or appease
people like Boba
to.
Fett's costume more than Mandalorian half the time, which I don't even know if that's necessarily a good choice, because I actually think the Mando armor is kind of cool. I actually liked it before it turned into the best car. I actually thought it was a little more
cool and rugged.
Cool to look at.
Yeah.
That was the other reason why I got pissed off at the show. I thought they were going to do the whole like video game, like he was going to upgrade. Like, he was going to upgrade like almost every other episode, or like get like a weapon I had to from do someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It would have been kind of neat to add that little bit of a like loot crate element to it. Could have been kind of fun. Man, talk about setting up a video game. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you would have done your storyline that way, people could have just done an open world shooter.
Look at them.
With
They've
that.
Too bad they gave it to EA for
shit.
10 years.
Yeah, no shit, man.
Yeah.
Like it's so bad.
Yeah.
They're not even going to make a game. They're just going to put a skin in Fortnite and call it a day. That's what they're going to do. Because they can't fucking help themselves.
I don't know.
It's
sad. Already there.
It's
I have
all
it.
ridiculous.
For fuck's sake.
I unlocked all the Beskar armor. Like literally, you have to go piece by piece.
God, you did more effort in the game than the fucking show did. But like again, like I'm saying, like that should have been a slam dunk. Like lightsabers are pretty fucking iconic. The ships are iconic. The world, you have galaxies.
Well,
and
it just goes to prove
they made
to
it
you,
so small.
It goes to prove
crazy.
to you that there is no leadership, like you've said, both of you have said. There's no real leadership. Otherwise, this company would be able to do some shit, you know.
It's only a matter of time before Disney takes direct control and Lucasfilm is just gone. Honestly,
I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon.
I don't see you getting rid of that name.
Yeah,
that name and logo needs to be there.
That name is going to always bring in somebody to buy something. I mean, look at you, Tivis. So,
damn, shots fired. So, no disintegration.
Yeah. Like there's always going to be a market for that name. If Disney actually butts in and, you know, changes some shit, you know, maybe they could work it out. Maybe do something like they got over at Marvel. Who knows, you know? But even Marvel is starting to seem kind of iffy with the stuff, because I honestly think it's one big cult with Disney right now.
Black Panther sucks.
I'm like not
Captain
even.
Marvel sucks. Endgame wasn't that good.
I'll watch.
Was pretty shit.
I'll watch the Disney products that I want. I'll watch the Disney products I want to, but I'm still like watching these talent that go to this company, and it seems like they're in a cult.
And here's the other thing. My whole issue is that
scary.
People are like, oh, we need to keep moving these stories forward and do it. It's like, no, you just need to really just not fuck it up. You really just need to stop fucking up the old stuff. That's what you really need to do. Because the problem is that people fucking, and I'm so sick of these YouTubers. Patrick Willems is a perfect example of a fucking dipshit who doesn't know what he's talking about.
If they keep going,
I'm
eventually.
disparaging I'm disparaging a person right now. I need you to let me finish my point.
I don't care.
Because, I'm disparaging a person right now, so I need you to let me finish my point so there's context. Like YouTubers like Patrick Willems talk about this shit, like how like rated R movies are a bad thing and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And he really gets into a point where it's like he acts like the stuff that came before doesn't fucking exist anymore when something new is created. You know what I mean? It's like just because the sequel trilogy got made that like we can't, now we need Star Wars to have new fans. Star Wars can't continue unless we get new fans. And the way we get new fans is by making new stuff. That is not true. And people who subscribe to that type of rhetoric, you're the fucking problem.
Because
100%.
Because you know, when I was born, none of the what was it? Let's go back. Jaws.
Yeah.
I was a fan of Jaws. Shit wasn't new to me. They haven't made a Jaws movie in years.
Star Wars itself was new to us. was new to us when we saw it. We didn't see it in theaters. I got shown it.
The original Trek series. I guarantee you, half the Trek fans were not alive when that show was on there.
Has anybody seen that Star Wars girl? This super hot chick who only pretty much talks about sci-fi nerdy shit. She's like 20.
Comic books alone, dude. Comic books alone. It's like, granted, we've adapted comics as we're going through. But I mean, shit, like the Batman movies from the 80s. You telling me people don't go back and watch those that are in their 20s right now, or younger?
look at this. Like, do you think you're gonna? And this could be. I don't even know how you could work this. The idea, like you're telling me, I have a kid 10 years from now. I love Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
My kid's gonna see it at some point.
Yeah.
If they don't like that, then I'll show them Star Wars. If they don't like that, I'll show them RoboCop or Terminator 2.
Mm-hmm.
My kid doesn't like Star Wars. Disowned. I'm returning him.
Fair enough. Board. Button. Push the button.
Yeah. Wait, don't say that move. That word.
Oh, sorry. Cleanse. But like, I mean, they act like you can't show this stuff to people. It's so insane. Like the Batman animated series, like, you know, it's this idea, like things stand the test of time. There's a reason why the phrase timeless, and I say phrase as if it's not one word. There's a reason why the word timeless exists, because, you know, storytelling is it's an art form that started since humans could draw on walls or even pantomime or do something. Go ook, ook, ook.
Carve in the sand.
Sorry if I said something offensive in another language. I didn't mean to appropriate. You understand.
Yeah, you did.
People have to understand that I'm just so sick that people really think this way, that if you don't have new Star Wars stuff come out, that somehow you can't actually bring in fans. And I think that's silly. I think that's absolutely silly. Shit, if you would just market something based on just the original Star Wars, you could make a killing. You could have made Galaxy's Edge just about the OT. People would have wanted to go to the Galaxy's Edge just for the OT in the first place. Imagine the sequel trilogy just didn't even get made. They only bought it so they could market it. Disney would have fucking destroyed.
There is literally
Tatooine Katina.
There's literally a group of a subgenre group of people called hipsters who love old stuff. Like,
why do you think vinyl records still exist?
VHS tapes are still a thing. People actually produce VHS tapes of brand new movies.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Shit, there was a horror movie about VHS tapes, which should be a fucking warning to all you fuckers who think VHS is actually good.
It is.
Be kind, rewind, bitch.
Yeah.
That was my rant. Sorry about that. I had to have it. It was driving me crazy.
I think we should end it now. If you guys enjoyed the show, give us some likes or thumbs up or whatever the fuck they're called, or wherever you're at.
Review us. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Tell your mom. Tell Tivis's mom.
She needs friends.
John's all like, "Fuck me. The shilling has begun."
No, that's what I said to his mom.
The shill.
Yes.
If you want to contact us, you can hit us up on Facebook or Twitter at Operation Babble, or you can email us at operationbabble@outlook.com, or you can even find us on Patreon at patreon.com/operationbabble, which this week we just uploaded 3 separate reaction videos to the let me get this right, Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer, where me, John, and Tivis each did our own video reacting to it solo, so you can see each of our thoughts on there. And yeah,
he said we did our own videos solo, which, you know what,
you can really tell with mine.
You know what, I'm not going to make fun of you for that, because for all we know, I could have done it with Hannah. Who'd have known?
Exactly.
I could have done it with a second person.
We all could have done it.
Nobody wants to do it with me.
Ooh, there we go. Trailer reactions while having sex. Boom.
No.
We have to pick a specific genre of films for those.
I get one veto in my lifetime. I'm using it now.
But curious, for fun, How long? Since we were talking, Tivis, you want to work on the next one with me? A Zoom call just doesn't get so sorry. Well, just I guess for the sake of it, because this is one of the first uploads. There we go.
Yeah.
Uploads I've done. This is what, like 4 for you now, Tivis?
3.
Third.
And this is my first one. But I will be uploading more and more. I'm going to try and do more content weekly for myself on there, just like stupid little videos or something, opinions or something that we want to create. So yeah,
people thinking. If people like it, I gotta say, just for the sake of it, just so people can tell that I tend to stay pretty faithful to the things I talk about when it comes to my longness. Tivis, how long was your video?
Maybe 5 minutes.
4 minutes and 56 seconds.
There it is.
Yeah.
Michael, how long was yours?
17:30, I believe it is.
Total. That was fucking impressive. Good job. For like what, a barely almost 3-minute trailer?
2.5 minute trailer.
There
2.5.
How long was mine?
I want to say 30 and 13. 30 minutes, I think it was 13
about
seconds.
Almost 30 minutes exact. Just about.
Like a baguette.
Yeah, boy. I hate you. Is that the Scrubs reference? We're going with the Scrubs. Thank you. I appreciate you. God, they brought him. I'm telling you, I will maintain right now. Sorry. I know we're getting to the end here. Scrubs, I will argue, has one of the best endings to a TV show ever. And then they started another season.
30 minutes and 6 seconds for you, John.
I'll talk about it.
There we go. Yeah, man. I decided I did a reaction to it, and then I followed it up with essentially like a pause, stop, and breakdown scenes that really fucking hurt my soul. So to be fair, if you don't like the Snyderverse, my video's the one to watch, because I pretty much just shit on it the whole time, because I'm not looking forward to this. Except in a fun way. Yeah. In a fun way.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward for the discussion of it.
I think everyone would enjoy all 3 of the videos just to see different points. I mean, not necessarily all different points, but yeah.
I tell you to watch a different movie.
These nice not having us in the room to influence each other, if that makes sense.
Right. And you can find these on the Facebook page. All 3 of them individually were just dropped on the Operation Babble Facebook page. We might drop them on Twitter. I don't know. And then, or you just go to patreon.com/operationbabble.
And I will say right now, if you like mine, if you become a Patreon subscriber, if you have requests for me, I will do my best to fulfill them moving forward.
And that goes for all of us, just let us know.
Because otherwise I'm only going to do what I fucking give a shit about. But if you want me to do 1 or 2, be careful, because you might not like what I got to say. But if you want me to cover something, I'll
say what Myke won't. Just help us out. Chuck in a buck.
Don't be a bitch.
It goes a long way. It really does.
Yeah. You don't need that baguette. Give me the $1.
All right, Tivis.
Myke, that chick, $5. I know there's doctors in this stream.
Tivis, what did you think, dude?
I liked it.
Awesome. My quote of the day comes from Psych, the TV show by Sean, saying to his dad, "Remember, Dad, you treat a woman like a person, then a princess, then a Greek goddess, then a person again.
And then no matter what, she's a good dishwasher. Later, nerds."
And she can make a burger. Peace.
Damn.
You just finished another great episode of Operation Babble. You can catch every episode of Operation Babble on all your audio streaming services, including SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and more. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Operation Babble, and join the conversation today by searching for the Operation Babble group on Facebook. Links also in the description. Thanks, and have a great day.